Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your mid-monthly readings for January 15th through the 31st. This is a general reading for all Aquarians, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I'm Heather Carlson of Heather Carlson Psychic Medium. And so I'm just getting started, but I figured start with the mid-monthlies, and I will be doing monthlies and mid-monthlies for all 12 of the zodiac signs on a regular basis. And then I may play around with some pick-a-card love readings because that seems to be one that some of my customers are suggesting I give a go. Although I'm newer to YouTube, I'm not new to readings. So we're going to get started. I have pre-shuffled the decks. I'm using my go-to, my Shadowscapes today. And so let's see what is happening. Now just be aware that I've read tarot for most of my life, but I also read psychically and intuitively. So I don't necessarily need the cards. They're my roadmap. So I may slightly differ from traditional meanings of cards. And also just be aware that sometimes the energies are changeable. So sometimes what I'm relaying, if it may resonate with the person you're working with, etc. So just that energy is sometimes changeable. I hope these messages resonate and offer you guidance and clarity. And if not, then I suggest you check out some of the wonderful and gifted other readers that you're going to find on YouTube. Okay, so let's get started. So please give me the information for Aquarius, January 15th through the 31st, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, so we've already got some cards popping, or jumping, as I call it. They do like to come on out at us. I feel like I've got one more before I stop, so bear with me here while I shuffle. Oh, that one did jump. Oh, I love it. Okay, so, all right. So we're going to start off, Aquarius, with the first one is the Five of Cups. You know, cups are our emotions, our relationships, and our communication. And Five of Cups is kind of this card of, you know, sorrow, the what ifs, the what could have been, the regrets, the, you know, feeling as if you're emotionally, it's that loneliness and that, you know, feeling separated, and, you know, it's that anxiety on an emotional level. And, you know, the girl in the picture, you know, she has all these other cups are surrounding her on the card, but she's really focused on this one. So Aquarius, I really feel like you're getting really caught up with, you know, I think you're sort of, again, off card, I'm going to go, I feel like you're getting caught up with sort of the one that you want, the one that got away. I do feel we're sort of talking about relationships here. Again, I feel like you're allowing it to sort of block you from seeing those other opportunities and other options. The other thing I'm getting is I feel like, you know, you're sort of in this mindset of, oh, I just can't be bothered with any of it because, you know, this one just didn't work out the way I wanted, didn't play out the way I envisioned it. And, you know, it's just the buts, the can'ts, the what ifs. You're really focused on those. But then we go into a really different energy with the next card. We go into the King of Wands. And so I really feel, Aquarius, that, you know, King of Wands is, you know, very big personality. I feel this is representative of you right now. You know, this is you sort of, now you could be dealing with a fire sign as well. But also it's that, you know, so this is your Leo, Aries, Sag. But I feel like it's sort of, you've got this, you're combating that sorrow with almost the opposite extreme in other areas, you know? So it's almost like the peacock sort of puffing up their chest. And I feel like you're sort of putting that energy into, you know, other endeavors and making your life amazing elsewhere. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I sort of feel like, you know, Aquarius, you're not really the best to trust in a relationship. And I feel like this is the one where you started to trust and it was the wrong one. And so instead of shutting the door completely and deciding I'm going to make this amazing life and I'm amazing and nobody, nobody's good enough for me, or I'm not going to keep that door ajar at all. It's funny. I normally see this as a positive card, but I almost feel like it's actually a bit of a coping technique right now. And in fact, you're going to the extreme. So, this is your charisma. This is your, movement forward. This is, personality, the life of the party, which, Aquarius often is. And, it's very much that leadership, that in control. I think in your head, it's almost like an I'll show you. I don't need that. I've got all this amazing. So it's odd because this is normally, I'd always see this as a positive card. And I do see it as a positive card because, you're focusing and getting things done in other areas of your life. Particularly, I feel like this is your social life and career work, that you've really are nailing things down and, leaps and bounds in the last few months with this. But at the same time, it's kind of sad because I feel like, this person or this relationship or what didn't work out isn't worth sort of the sorrow and regret that you've put into it, if that makes sense. So the next one I got is the Six of Cups. So we're still in that relationship, emotion, communication. The Six of Cups is a card that speaks of memories of the past. Although to me, this is sort of looking back at when things were good and what you enjoyed and what you loved and what you want to get back to. So again, as much as you're trying to sort of not go there, you still keep having these daydreams of the good times. This can also be a card that talks about a past life connection. So again, although I think I'm speaking of you, we may be talking about a really strong, charismatic fire sign who you have either a history or past with, or you have this past life soul connection, that there's this sizzle between the two of you that doesn't really make sense, but it's because it's not this time around. So take it whichever way resonates with you. Okay, so we're going to see what else we get here because this is getting kind of interesting. Hang on just a sec here. What else have you got for my Aquarians, January 15th through the 31st, Sun, Moon, and Rising Aquarius? What have we got here? Let's see where we want this to go. Oh. Wow, I got nothing jumping. Let's try this. Up, up, up. Okay. All right, I know where this is going. There we go. Sorry, guys. I just had I had the pile fall there. Just give me a sec here. So, a couple different things. So, Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is that card where, you're ready to, you're getting caught up with your way and the only way that you can see it. And the way I'm taking this is, it's funny because I've been seeing this with majority of the signs in the last several months. A lot of us are getting really caught up, particularly in the last several months, since that eclipse back in July. It's kind of been a lesson for all of us, but we're really caught up with the how things have to happen. And this card really speaks to Aquarius. You can kind of be, trust me, some of my best friends have been Aquarians, but you guys can be a little bit control freaky, come on. It's fair enough to say, right? And so this is the card that really speaks to that. So the Four of Pentacles, Pentacles are your security, your money. You guys love your money and you love your security and you love your control. But this is the card that it's sort of my way or the highway. I always think of, the parade horses with the blinders on. You can't see past those blinders if there's another option. And so I think all of the signs in different ways have really been struggling with this obsession since that eclipse back in July and we're coming up. We've just had another one in January, and we've got another one coming up in 21st, 22nd. And that'll be a huge shift. So for you as well. So this is the card that says, you know, you're holding on a little too tight. You're getting obsessed with how things have to happen. You know, let it just happen. Don't be obsessed with you assigning the only way that things can play out to your advantage. You're so obsessed with what the end looks like that you're missing some possible opportunities because you're so focused on the one you had your eye on. It's kind of what both of these are saying, okay? And what I find interesting is the bottom of the deck. So, you know, the energy that's sort of grounding you and where you are is the Two of Swords. So if you can see this, the Two of Swords is, you know, he's got that cloak on. He's got the two swords in front of him. And, you know, he's blocking that heart. You know, there's this little, there's this little heart here. And these two swords, he's literally standing within arm's reach of it, and he is just absolutely blocking that energy. So this is Two of Swords talks about, you know, the way I'm taking this is, you know, what are you not being honest? What are you not being upfront with yourself about? How are you self-sabotaging? How are you being your own worst enemy? How are you stopping yourself from reaching this joy and this happiness? Because I really feel like I'm talking about your joy and your happiness, you know, and I don't know that I'm focused on any one relationship, although I could be for many of you. But it's just, to me, I feel for a lot of you, it's just that the option is there, that you're open to the option. So this is kind of you being your own worst enemy. And this is, you know, swords are our mental health, our clarity, our decision-making, our, you know, everything that's going on in our mind. It's the anxieties and the worries and the negative self-talk, particularly with this card. And it's, you know, you're just spinning this and you're kind of potentially screwing up some great opportunities and options. So just keep this in mind. Now, I do have a clarifier deck ready, and I want to clarify a couple of these. So I'm going to clarify this King of Wands because I wasn't sure, because I took it as both you or, okay. Here we go. So I'm using the Rider-Waite to clarify. Ace of Swords. So this is a new beginning. This is sort of cutting away, you know, that doesn't serve you and letting it go. So I love this. Although you've been focused on the past and the control, you're at a point where you're feeling so on top of your game, that King of Wands, that you're like, you know what? I'm letting it all go. So again, I feel like this is the time where you sort of decide enough is enough. You need to just let whatever's going to happen and not be so controlling over it. I always think of the Ace of Wands. My picture in my head, you know, if somebody was raising a flagpole, this is the point where you cut the guide wires. You know, you don't need them anymore. That it's nice and secure. You're good to go. In fact, you know, they could do some damage in a windstorm if you left them there. So this is kind of what this card is saying. It is a new beginning, strict, you know, quick, decisive decisions. The other thing too with the Ace of Swords that I sometimes get is that you're not even sure if the decision is the right decision, but you knew that you had to make a decision, so you made it and you're not going back on it. And I think that was the best choice you could have made. So I really do feel like with this period of January 15th through the 31st, you've really been going through sort of a cleansing. You know what? Yep, I focused on something I shouldn't have. And I am just going to release it. And I feel like coming up to this full moon, the full wolf moon and the lunar eclipse on the 21st, 22nd, I feel like that is going to be your release. And you're going to see this as a new beginning on top of your game. You know, I am here, I'm ready, I'm in control. And so that can be sort of a new opportunity for your relationships, but also you're going to see it in other areas of your life, because I do feel like that career security is where your focus has been. So the fact that you can have both of them at the same time, to me, is the period that you're leading up to. So great messages. I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing what we get for the coming month. So yeah, thanks so much for being with me for this. And I hope that that gave you some clarity and guidance. So yeah, let it go. Stop focusing on it and know that good stuff and new beginnings and you being on top of your game is what is coming. Okay? Take care, Aquarius, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.